Mangwanani Mwalelepo Vukenjani Kreklas Vanave Africa. Welcome to Africa Good Morning, the news and current affairs show that remains your portal into Africa's most potent stories. These are some of the stories that we are looking at today. Hakainde Hichilema leads Zambia election as 11 arrested in suspected insurrection plot, including Tasila Lungu's husband. Zimbabwe police say Lake Kariba boat accident death toll has risen to 80. And Cameroon are WAFCON champions. Let's get into that story already. Cameroon have made history by defeating Malawi 3-0. And this was in last night's WAFCON final. And this allowed them to claim their first ever Women's Africa Cup of Nations title, completing an impressive campaign with a commanding performance. Marie Gizaonga Manga scored twice, while Naomi Eto'o added another as the indomitable Lionesses finally reached the summit of African women's football after previous final heartbreaks. For Malawi, defeat does little to diminish an extraordinary tournament that saw the Scorchers emerge as one of WAFCON 2026's biggest stories. Making their tournament debut, Malawi progressed from a challenging group before stunning Ghana 2-1 in the quarterfinals and producing another impressive performance to defeat Algeria 3-1 in the semi-finals. Sisters Tabitha and Temwa Chawinga were among the central figures in the historic campaign that took Malawi all the way to the continental showpiece. Now, Cameroon ultimately proved too strong in the final, but both nations leave a significant mark on this incredible tournament. Well done, ladies. Now, after the break, we're going to be digging into the Zambia election. Also, we will be joined by Mr. Mike Sichula, our correspondent, who is in Lusaka, Zambia, to give us the latest from there. Stay with Africa. Good morning.
Namibia is a land of movement, with waves that never stop reaching forward. Here, adventure is not something we search for. It is something we are born into. In every corner of this country, creativity rises, from artists, from athletes, from dreamers. And when the world comes to explore Namibia, they discover something extraordinary. Because when sport moves people, creativity moves ideas, and tourism moves the world toward us. Something powerful happens. A platform where movement meets imagination, where industries connect, where opportunity grows, where Namibia's next chapter begins. Welcome to the Creative Sport Tourism Expo. Exhibit, partner, experience. Creative Sport Tourism.
All right, you're still with Africa Good Morning. It's time for us to get into our top stories, starting with where the Zambia elections currently stand. This is your official update with Africa Good Morning. So 135 out of 226 constituencies are part of these consolidated results. Hakainde Hichilema, the leader of the UPND and the incumbent president of the Republic of Zambia, is leading with 1,544,140 votes. Behind him is the main opposition leader, Brian Mundubile of the NRUP Tonse Alliance, with 1,030,662. So far, the percentage turnout is 56.4%, and the Electoral Commission of Zambia is going to be announcing more results as of 9 a.m. And stay with us because our correspondent in Lusaka, Mike Sichula, will join us shortly. But first, let's talk about Secretary to Cabinet Patrick Kangwa reporting that A joint security operation on the 9th of 13 August in Lusaka's Kabulonga area resulted in the arrest of 11 suspected militia members and persons of interest. The individuals who had been under surveillance were allegedly connected to plans involving foreign nationals and illegal military training camps that threatened state security. Now, high-grade weapons, ammunition, materials intended for armed insurrection were also seized. This is the Cabinet Secretary Patrick Kangwa in his own words.
Government wishes to inform the public that on the night of 13th August 2026, the Zambia police, working on a tip-off from vigilant members of the public, laid a joint operation to apprehend suspected militia and persons of interest in an operation that was conducted at a premise in Lusaka's Kabulonga area. The persons of interest have been under surveillance over the last few years and more recently in the last few months. Additionally, some of the individuals involved were connected to military plans involving foreign nationals and illegal military training camps, thus posing a serious threat to state security. The individuals in issue were found in possession of high-grade military weapons, ammunition, and other materials for use in armed insurrection. The operation resulted in the seizure of restricted high-grade military weapons and the apprehension of suspected members of the militia and other persons found at the scene, while others fled and their whereabouts are unknown. During the operation, the occupants of the premises fired shots at the law enforcement agencies, which resulted in an exchange of fire. Others found on the scene were senior members of certain political parties in Zambia. Among 11 persons apprehended from the scene of crime who face various criminal charges include Mr. George Sanga, Dr. Bishop Trevor Mwamba, Mr. Simon Piri, Mr. Richard Banda, Mr. Francis Mlenga, and Mr. Patrick Mwansa, all of whom are held in lawful custody at various police stations in Lusaka. The suspects have been charged and access will be given to their families and their lawyers. It is also important to mention that Mr. Brian Munduvile, presidential candidate for the NRPUP, was also found on the scene. Investigations are ongoing and the nation will be kept updated accordingly. I thank you.
Stay with Africa Good Morning, because in about 5 minutes, our correspondent in Lusaka, Zambia, Mike Sichula, is going to bring us an overall understanding of the elections in Zambia and as well as an update with some extra insight on that particular developing story. But for now, we'll swing over to Zambia's neighbor, Zimbabwe. Zimbabwe's National Police Service said on Sunday that the death toll from the Lake Kariba boat accident had risen to 80 after 8 additional bodies were found. The update was issued in a post on X and concerned the accident that occurred on Lake Kariba on August 11. Police confirmed the increased toll following the discovery of 8 bodies, taking the number of people reported dead to 80. Now, the latest announcement marks another increase in the confirmed number of deaths on this boat incident. The accident has certainly taken Zimbabwe into a space of mourning and concern, without a doubt, and we certainly hope that all those families can be comforted and taken care of and get the answers that they need in this difficult time. Now, in the last of our top stories, we are in Botswana. Now, in Botswana, the 2,488-carat Motswedi diamond has been sold nearly 2 years after Lucara Diamond recovered it from the Karowe mine in August 2024. Lucara disclosed the sale in its second quarter results released on August 7, saying Motswedi was included in the quarter's $41 million revenue without identifying the buyer or revealing the sale price. Initially reported at 2,492 carats, the diamond was confirmed at 2,488.32 carats after cleaning. The Gemological Institute of America classified Motswedi as the second largest gem quality rough diamond ever discovered, behind South Africa's 3,106 carat Cullinan diamond recovered in 1905. Those have been our top stories on Africa Good Morning. Shortly, Mike Sichula joins us from Zambia. We will now be joined by Zambian journalist and Africa Good Morning correspondent in Lusaka, Zambia, Mr. Mike Sichula, to give us an update on what's going on with regards to the elections. Mike Muribwanji.
Muribwanji, Africa Good Morning to our dear viewers.
Tiri Bueno. Now, it seems like it's an Africa better morning for Hakainde Hichilema and not so much for the Tonse Alliance. Please take us into how the results look so far. We'll be happy to flight the results image, and then more detail on this raid of alleged insurrectionists in Lusaka.
Yes, so yesterday, last evening, almost 24 hours, the Electoral Commission of Zambia availed to the media and the international community at the Murungushi International Conference Center, which is the national totaling center, the results for 135 constituencies out of 226 constituencies. And after the consolidated results from those number of constituencies, President Hakainde Hichilema is still maintaining his lead with over 1.5 million votes, followed by opposition frontrunner Mr. Brian Mundubire with over 1.1 million, with over 1 million votes. So the difference between the two is slightly over 500,000 votes. So according to the Electoral Commission of Zambia, they are supposed to avail other constituencies presidential results this morning, and the nation is hoping that the final declaration can be announced during the course of today if everything goes according to the plan, because the commission had set the 17th of August as the day when the official results will be made public. However, the turnout is over 50% in terms of the votes that have so far been counted, and because the register is about 8.7 million voters, and so far over 4 million voters have cast their vote, so have been counted. Then in terms of voter rejected ballots papers, it's 77,000, which is something that a number of electoral players are saying doesn't paint a very good picture in terms of voter education in Zambia. And tensions at the Mulungushi International Conference Center, it has been moderately not that high-tempered, because a few days ago, when results were not coming in, opposition parties were very concerned that why is there a delay? Because you recall, during the course of last week, the Electoral Commission of Zambia had suspended the announcing and counting of the ballots because of security concerns, where in some instances, marked ballot papers were stolen from some polling stations. But within 6 hours of that announcement being made, the commission came back and lifted the suspension, saying that security authorities had managed to contain the situation that was becoming out of hand. Then getting to the 11 people that have been arrested by the Zambia police in terms of possessing offensive weapons or high-grade military equipment, as stated by Secretary to Cabinet Mr. Patrick Kangwa. This is information that the NRPUP presidential candidate, who was also caught up in the raid at the house that is believed to be his, he said that the people that carried out this operation were military commandos, and they also had picked him, and they are taking him to a facility which he says was a military facility, but they later set him free. And also indicated to the nation that yes, there were gunshots that were fired, and according to him and the presidential running mate, Mr. Makebi Zulu, they said that some of the people that surround Mr. Mundubile were allegedly shot, and these include his bodyguard and one of his presidential aides in terms of economic affairs, Mr. Mtote Kafwaya, who was also reported to have been shot and was in serious condition. So since the raid, which is about 72 hours ago, the government of Zambia had been mute in terms of the whereabouts of the people that were suspected to have been shot dead or were picked to unknown destinations. So one of them, like you did indicate, is the husband to Tasira Lungu, who is the daughter to former Zambia's president, Dr. Edgar Lungu. The husband was also picked, but much as the NRPUP, the party of Brian Mundubile, wanted to ask the government to say, where are these people? The government from the 13th, or let me say from the 14th up to the latest information that the government has released, the government denied all those allegations that there were people that were abducted and people did not know their whereabouts. So because of family pressure and the international community expressing alarm over the issue, it is now that the Secretary to Cabinet has come out to state that people have been arrested and they are possessing high-grade military equipment. This is something that the opposition has denied, because they said that raid was conducted without a search warrant, and those people, as the way Mr. Kangwa is portraying that they have been on the wanted list, it is something that the nation, it is something that is new to the nation, because these people, some of them that are being said to have been on the wanted list for a period of time now, have been in public domain during the campaigns, and there were no arrests made to them. So people will begin to speculate as to whether this is a politically motivated arrest, because before this arrest of the Raven, the government had also abducted some media personnel and other persons that were helping the Brian Mundubile media team in terms of covering and also traversing the country during the political campaigns. So we are going to see what response Brian Mundubile and his team are going to respond with this latest message that has come from the Secretary to Cabinet, Mr. Patrick Kangwa.
Well, that's a lot to process, Mr. Sichula, and we'll certainly be looking forward to the updates from the Zambia election and these significant stories surrounding it. As we do understand right now, Hakainde Hichilema is in the lead with just over 500,000 votes, and it seems like the provinces which are mostly left, the districts, we're looking at Western Province, which is Hakainde Hichilema stronghold, and at the same time, Mundubile did have some big strides when it came to the north in particular. However, right now it's hard to tell how it will finish, but we can see who has the momentum. We appreciate you for your updates, Mr. Mike Sichula, and would like our viewers to know that Mr. Mike Sichula will keep on updating us. Make sure you follow us on Facebook so you can get these updates on the beat. Mr. Sichula, thank you very much, sir. Now, as we said, we had an incredible WAFCON Women's Africa Cup of Nations final with Malawi and Cameroon both having the opportunity to grab their very first WAFCON title, and it was taken by Cameroon, who are now the WAFCON champions with a 3-0 win over Malawi. That's how we're going to wrap up the show with our economic indicators right after these highlights. Sweda Jakanaka.
It's gone off, the crossbar's gone in, and it has been scored. Cameroon get their goal. It is Manga who offers Cameroon the lead. Another goal from their lead scorer. Corner coming in. It's there. It's a goal. It's the second goal for Cameroon. Look at that for a strike. Top quality indeed. Naomi Eto'o with the spinning volley that flies into the corner. They got an option here. There's Naomi Eto'o. Naomi Eto'o, the goalkeeper's coming back. She's gone past it. Eto'o trying to get the ball over. It's headed in. What a fabulous header that is. And they've scored a third goal. Sensational. That really is. You don't get better than that. Marion Manga scoring her second here in this final to make it 3-0 right at the end of the first half. And a yellow card for Ngwene. And there's the final whistle. Cameroon are the champions of Africa. Cameroon are the champions of Africa.